The Red Raiders are the talk of the college football world, not only on the gridiron, but also on the high school recruiting trail, landing multiple blue chip recruits in the class of 2027. But the Red Raiders may not be done. In today's video, we'll discuss the latest news surrounding the class of 2027 for Texas Tech, including two marquee players in the class and much, much more. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's video. If you want more 100% free content surrounding your Texas Tech Red Raiders, whether it's on the gridiron, the hardwood, portal, high school recruiting, and anything else, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Red and Black Report. And all you have to do to join, simply like the video and hit that subscribe button. Enough with the promo. Let's get into it. The big news in Texas Tech in terms of, well, football in general is the fact that the Red Raiders opened a can of you-know-what on Utah out in Salt Lake City in Week 4. But when it comes to Texas Tech on the high school recruiting trail, we know that the Red Raiders have been really the talk of the college football world, for better or worse. I obviously am on the better side because I'm part of Red Raider Nation, and I believe that your team should not speak broke. Don't worry about what's in our pockets. Worry about what's in yours more. Am I right? All right. Anyway, enough of digressing here. Jaylen Brewster, you see him on your screen right there. He is one of those guys that is a true difference maker, a top 10 overall player in the class of 2027 from this high school that maybe one of your coaches is pretty familiar with. That's obviously sarcasm. Joey McGuire used to coach there before taking a job over at Baylor. And, well, we know the next step in his coaching progression in his career. Jaylen Brewster is a bona fide freak. He's 6'3", 305, 300, depending on where you're looking, 300 on your screen right here. He is a bona fide superstar. Watching him play is legitimately just a ton of fun. And you see some of the teams that are going after him, whether that's Oklahoma, SMU, Texas, Ohio State. He was recently up in Indiana visiting Coach Cignetti up there in Bloomington. But the Red Raiders, according to On3, have kind of taken over here when it comes to his commitment, or at least the process as it is right now. No commitment yet, but you do see on your screen when it is set to happen. It will be on October 4th, and here are some of the schools that he is keeping in the mix. And this from Hayes Fawcett right there of Rivals and On3. 5-star defensive lineman Jaylen Brewster will announce his commitment October 4th. He tells me for Rivals, the 6'3", 300-pound defensive lineman from Cedar Hill, Texas, is ranked as the number 1 defensive player in the 2027 class. Or I should say the number 1 defensive lineman. Excuse me, not defensive player, because Texas Tech's already got the commitment of that guy. His name is LaDamian Guyton. But I will say this. On the Jaylen Brewster front, I would very much, if I were a Texas Tech fan, keep an eye out on it. Reason being, you see it on your screen right there. Rivals, both Steve Wiltfong and Sam Spiegelman have put in, well, their logged expert predictions for Texas Tech to land the 2027 5-star defensive lineman, Jaylen Brewster. And I already mentioned they have LaDamian Guyton in that class as well. They also have Cooper Hackett, right? They have bona fide stars in the class of 2027 already, and they're not done yet, okay? Texas Tech has made it a very clear objective for them when they are going to spend big in the high school recruiting ranks. They are going to do it at marquee positions where they can get the biggest difference in bang for their buck. What do I mean by that? We talked about it ad nauseum here on the channel, how in the Big 12, this isn't the Big 10 or the SEC historically, right? Where there's not a lot of great offensive lines. There's not a lot of great defensive lines. So if you're Texas Tech, that's a place where you can go out and objectively, at least when you look at it, think, okay, if I go out and get premier talent, at least from my point of view, right? And they're doing their due diligence. They're not just trusting Rivals, On3, and 247's rankings, right? They're scouting these guys out. If we think they can be good in the trenches and be good early, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to pay them some money. We're going to get them out to Lubbock, and we're going to make sure that Texas Tech has the best offensive line and best defensive line they can possibly get, because that's where you can make the biggest impact in this league. Everybody's got speedy guys on the outside. Everybody's got a quarterback that can move a little bit or has got a nice arm or whatever, right? You may even have a nice running back, right? The difference is there's not very many teams in this conference at a high level that bring out a great offensive line and defensive line. And Texas Tech has identified that as a position where they can go out and really make an impact. And it's already working so far with how they did so in the transfer portal, but now they're doing it in the high school ranks. And this is how you really build a monster. Because in this current age of college football, you have to still go get guys out of high school and develop them. You supplement with the transfer portal, but Texas Tech, they're doing a little bit with nuance here and a little bit of pizzazz. That's a fun word to say. In terms of they're going after marquee guys that they think are undervalued by other schools and are marquee players in the top 10 of their respective class, top 25 in their respective class, that can make an immediate impact. And Jaylen Brewster is one of those guys. Again, he is a name to monitor if you are a part of Red Raider Nation. You see it right there. You've got both Wiltfong and Spiegelman putting in their expert predictions for this one, where Jaylen Brewster, according to them, as it stands right now, and you're hearing this video on Tuesday, September 23rd, those two guys, they expect Jaylen Brewster to commit to the Scarlet and Black on October 4th. Would be a huge day for Texas Tech. All right, before we get into anything else, appreciate y'all tuning into the video. We've had a lot of growth in this really past month of football season. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And if you haven't already, join the RBR squad. Simply hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. And if you come back a month later and you're like, hey, I don't really like the content, I understand. We ain't for everybody here, but we are interactive. We're 100% free. We give you daily videos. And I would like to think we're a little bit of fun. Let me know in the comments if we're fun. I don't know. Just a thought. All right, let's move on. See him on your screen right there. Kavian Bryant. This is a guy we've talked about here on the channel multiple times. He was just down south at that gaudy orange school this past weekend, taking an official visit down there, or an unofficial visit, down to Austin to see Steve Sarkisian in the Longhorns. But he's a guy that Texas Tech apparently is in a really, really good spot with. And there has been multiple people that know a lot more than probably everybody you're listening to, including myself, when it comes to recruiting, saying that Texas Tech is in a good spot to potentially land him. What would that mean for Texas Tech in an ideal world? Let's play the ideal world speculation type game real quick. You've already got Guyton. You already got Cooper Hackett, right? You got a couple other guys in terms of impact players in the 2027 class as well, right? Including Gilmore, a guy that's pretty damn good. All right, so you go there. And let's just say you get Bryant and you get Brewster. That is now 4 5-star commitments in your class. We're not talking about a class that is clearly going to be the best recruiting class Texas Tech has ever had, right? Like from a metric standpoint and a ranking standpoint, it would be the best. That being said, we're talking about a program-changing class in the sense of you're building the foundation currently right now in 2025 where you're getting the national recognition. You're winning games that really, truly matter, and you're going to be in a position where these games matter well into November if you're Texas Tech. That's going to build a foundation in terms of going out in the portal and getting guys you can supplement for some of the guys that you're losing. But really, the 2026 class and the 2027 class are going to be objectively just absolutely stupid when it comes to how talented they are, okay? Don't take my word for it. Felix Ojo talked to Steve Wiltfong this past weekend after the Utah game for Texas Tech, and he said what's crazy, and I'm paraphrasing here, this isn't the verbatim quote. Felix Ojo, the five-star offensive tackle, in the class of 2026, said that this current roster in 2025 for Texas Tech is going to be the worst roster Texas Tech has moving forward, okay? And that's not a shot at this roster. It's a really testament to what this Texas Tech program is doing in recruiting, not only in the portal, but from a high school standpoint in making an impact and getting guys that are difference makers in key positions like we talked about earlier in this video. Jaylen Brewster, bona fide star. I think he's got first-round NFL draft pick type potential, and right now he's a junior in high school, okay? You've got Kavian Bryant, right? He is a guy that I truly believe. I don't think you would need to do this necessarily, but I think he could start day one as a true freshman. He's that talented, okay? You're going after true difference makers, and I haven't even brought up a guy like Zane Rowe, who was previously committed to Oklahoma, but according to him, Texas Tech is making him a top priority, right? And he's a four-star edge that's going to end up being probably a top 75 player in the class of 2027. The Red Raiders are going out here and doing things that truly no one has done in the current landscape of college football, and they're doing so at such a high level that multiple recruits in places that maybe wouldn't have thought about Texas Tech in the past are now thinking about it. And yeah, it's money related somewhat, but also don't get it twisted. Texas Tech is proving that they can develop these guys, and they're going to be playing in impactful games, and that's what these guys want. But the two names to monitor most notably for the Red Raiders as it stands right now is Jaylen Brewster. He is a defensive lineman, a top 10 overall player, according to On3, 247 Sports, all those ranking sites in the class of 2027. And he is set to commit on October 4th. Texas Tech is perceived to be in the driver's seat to potentially land his commitment. Kavian Bryant, he was down in Austin last weekend, but Texas Tech and Florida State are still, as it stands, and at the time of this recording of the video, in the driver's seat to potentially land him. Obviously, things can change, but Texas Tech is being hyper-aggressive where they need to be, and damn it, I'm excited as hell to be talking about Texas Tech football like this. This is a lot of fun, man. If y'all are having fun being a Texas Tech fan right now, Red Raider Nation, I know you are. Simply like the video and hit that subscribe button, because I'm telling you, we're going to have a lot more fun on this channel when it comes to this football team. Men's basketball is right around the corner as well. They're going to be a top 10 preseason team, and if they're not, we riot here on this channel. We'll be talking about them all year long. So if you want 100% free content, and it's daily content, right? This isn't just every other day. No, this is daily content. Even during the bye week, we're giving you a video a day. I don't know anybody else doing that. I don't know anybody else. Again, like the video, hit that subscribe button, and join the Red and Black Report squad today. All right, I'm RC Maxfield, reminding you, as always, stay safe and Recruitment Tech.